Thank you for tuning in. We will get started here in about 1 minute. Several people have insisted that we have a seminar specifically on the super grant, so we're giving them time to check in and join us. I see you, Matt, Connie, Jeanette, Jolanda. Thanks for tuning in. We'll be starting shortly. All right. It is 7 o'clock. Once again, thank you for tuning in to yet another Tri-County Equity Resources Facebook Live seminar. We do appreciate you tuning in. In fact, for those of you who are tuning in, you are now entered in a drawing. We will be music, Miss Gentry, music. For those of you who are tuning in, you'll be entered in a drawing for a free appraisal. Again, it is for those of you who are actively participating and asking questions, and this free appraisal will be valid for those who are pre-qualified at the Tri-County office. This is our way of thanking you for tuning in. Thank you for asking questions and having fun with us today. It is a beautiful, beautiful Monday, and we're so glad to have you with us. A few ground rules. These are live seminars. So this one in particular is very important because so many people have asked about the super grant, the super grant. What is the super grant? What is the super grant? So we're having a seminar just to talk about the super grant. Because of that, we're going to have some very interesting questions, such as the one that's here now about the music. We're going to have some interesting questions, but we ask that you keep it fun, but keep it very appropriate. There will be several people who will be watching this as it's shared a billion other times. So we ask that you're very mature, respectful, and appropriate in your questions and your comments. And my goal is to answer all of your questions. If I don't get a chance to talk about your question during today's class, I promise you that I will follow up with you and give you the one-on-one attention that you need. But I'm excited about today's information, talking about the super grant. Are you guys excited? I see some people chiming in here, tuning in. Kathy and Tico and Miss Gentry and Miss Leathers, Jay Leathers in the house. Thank you for tuning in. So ask questions. We're gonna kick our shoes off. I guess I should have had a pedicure before I did that. You didn't see my feet, did you? Anyway, we're gonna talk about the super grant. So I'm excited, and we're actually stalling here for a few more seconds because the people who have insisted on this class have not joined us yet. But ask any questions you want. We're going to jump right in. What is the super grant? The super grant is, in my opinion, probably the best program available to those who are purchasing a home. Here's why. When I first got into the business many, many, many years ago, I won't tell you how long ago, but when I first got into the business, there were some phony grant programs. I can say phony. Programs like AmeriDream, Nehemiah, Liberty Gold. These programs were so creative and so phony. What they would do, they would actually have a seller agree to pay a fee to the nonprofit organization. And after paying the fee, the seller would simply increase the sales price 3.5% to turn around and give to the organization. The organization would give it to the buyer. So that way the buyer received a fake grant from these so-called nonprofit agencies that actually collected up to $500 per deal. And I'm smiling because it's funny now, but I mean, the amount of money these organizations made was insane. And that's why they shut them down. So there's no more Ameridrama, Nehemiah, or Liberty Gold, or any stupid program like that. And those programs are great, and they helped many, many, many people purchase homes. In fact, there are some people they're going to watch this video and they're going to say, "Yeah, I got that. That was, well, it helped me, but wow, it was that shady." Yeah, it was that shady, and that's why they cut the program. So I love the super grant because it's legit. It's totally real. There's no phony stuff going on. It's a legitimate program without the number manipulation of the previous grants. And what I really like about the program, which we'll get into here in a moment, the program allows you to have a full homeownership dream. And when I say full homeownership dream, I guess I'm speaking in figurative language, because these other stupid grants like the Addy grant, I used to love that grant, but it limits your dream to a catnap. Literally, instead of you being able to purchase, hey, Christina, literally in order for you to get the grant, you'd have to purchase in the city of Cincinnati. That's not a dream. Man, if I want to buy a house, I want to live where I want to live. So the Addy grant limited people. The NSP grant limited people. The Community Housing Partners grant limited people. The, what's the other grant? Price Hill Will, obviously. It limits your dream to a catnap. So all of these other so-called grants, they're good. I mean, they're great. I mean, hey, a lot of my clients like Addy, and that's cool. Addy's cool because you can get in with a 620 credit score. So these grants have their purpose. But the super grant is phenomenal. By the time I'm done talking, you guys are going to faint. And if you really want to do something special, Mother's Day is coming up. So take this video, burn it, put it on a CD, and give it to your mom. Give it to anyone. Just spread the gospel of the super grant, because this is the best program available for anyone buying a home in Ohio. Now, what is the super grant? It gives you a 5% down payment gift. Now let's put that in math terms. Let's say you're buying a $100,000 house. 5% times a $100,000 house, you get $5,000. So at your closing table, Columbus is wiring you $5,000 for you to close. In addition to that, every year that you are in the home, let me say that again for those of you who didn't catch that. For every year that you are in the home, in this loan program, you get a tax credit. So you're actually getting paid every year to simply do what you're supposed to do, pay your mortgage, and breathe in and breathe out. So this super grant is literally paying you to be in the house. And it's giving you money up front. So you buy a $100,000 house, that's 5% times 100, you get $5,000. All you have to do is buy a house anywhere in Ohio, have average credit, we'll talk about credit scores, have a decent debt ratio, we can talk about debt ratios. So basically they just want to make sure that, that you can repay the mortgage. They're not going to give you a grant if you can't demonstrate the ability to repay. So I see we have a question. What if your score is shot? Can you still qualify? Great question. One of the things that our particular office in Tri-County, our mission, which is also the same mission of the company, is to help families, help communities. And one of the things that we specialize in, we help people build a game plan. Now, we don't get paid for credit repair, but you might want to tune in to some of our other seminars where we spoke about credit repair, game planning, and building a perfect mortgage portfolio, if you will, so that you can qualify for a loan. But the short and sweet answer, no. must have a 660 credit score for the super grant. And if you are a second-time buyer, which we'll get into shortly, you can have a 640 credit score. So 640 and 660. I see, wow, I really need new glasses. Is the super grant only available for FHA loans? Great question. No, ma'am. You can actually get a VA loan, conventional, or an FHA loan with the super grant. So if you're buying a condominium that isn't FHA approved, you can actually get the super grant and buy that condo. I had a young lady buy a condo conventionally, and she came to the closing table and spent absolutely $0. It was remarkable. So yeah, you can do FHA, conventional, or VA. You're welcome. All right. I see you, Tico. Just give me a call, and we'll take care of you. And anyone who would like to call our office, I'll be happy to talk with you one-on-one and help you build a game plan. So the super grant gives you 5%. You don't have to pay back as long as you live in the house for 7 years, which most people do. Give you 5%. And if you don't like the 5%, let's say you don't want the whole 5, you can do a smaller variation of the super grant and only take 2.5%. Again, the FHA requirement is 3.5, and the grant gives you a full 5%. Now, there are different flavors of the super grant. Different flavors. You're welcome. The first flavor is what I like to call the hero grant. That's right. If you are a teacher, policeman, fireman, healthcare professional, veteran, if your job is physically helping the community on a daily basis, teacher, anything like that, then they'll give you a better interest rate and all the stuff we're talking about just because you can prove you are a hero. It is remarkable. For example, I have some clients, true story, closing on, close date, Friday. Yes, closing on Friday, and they're buying a house, almost $200,000 house. Do the math. How much are they getting? Drum roll. Once again, if you interact and answer questions and ask questions, you are eligible to receive a ticket in our drawing to get a free appraisal. So if you're buying a $200,000 house, how much does the super grant give you? Anyone know? Come on, interactive. Okay, I see that everyone watching is a Cincinnati public graduate like myself, and that's okay. So on Friday, they're getting $10,000. They're getting $10,000. They're actually coming to the table and they're not paying anything. They're actually walking away with $400. Can you imagine that? They're getting 10 grand to put down on the home that they didn't have to earn, and they're walking away with enough money for movers. So think about it. You're buying a house, you don't have to pay anything. Their realtor is going to be loved forever by these clients. Really nice couple, college educated, they work for the school system. So they're gonna get the heat. Thank you, Joyce. It took you a minute, but yep, I knew Joyce Leathers would do the math. These people are gonna get a $10,000 grant, and they're gonna get the next grant that we're gonna talk about. And they're getting the MCC. So they're actually getting a scoop of sprinkles, a scoop of cherries, and a generous serving of whipped cream. We can layer these grants. We can combine things to help people maximize every dollar and take advantage of the super grant. So what is the grant for grad? What is that? How are they getting a better interest rate? If you can prove you are a college graduate, GED is included in that, master's degree, PhD from any Ohio institution, then you get a better interest rate than everyone else on the planet through the Grant for Grad program. Yeah, let me slow down, say it again. So you graduate 2 years ago from Mount St. Joe. I had to throw that in there from a Mount Lion alumni. So you graduate from Mount St. Joe 2 years ago and you apply for the super grant. Not only do you get the 5%, not only do you get the yearly tax credit, but you get a better interest rate because you show that you graduated 2 years ago. Yep, incredible. Question, what is the criteria for getting the grant? Great question. And I'll be politically correct when I answer that. You have to have a 660 credit score, unless you want to go with a conventional loan. In that case, you need a 640. So you need a 660 for an FHA. Your debt ratio cannot be over 45%. And that's something the MCC grant also helps you out with, because they take a certain algebraic formula and they will add a sliver of income to your true income. So let's say you make $1,300. Now you make maybe $1,350 or $1,375 with the help of the MCC grant. So it actually helps you qualify as well. But that criteria is inescapable. You have to have a 660 credit score. And your debt ratio has to have 45% or under. I see a great question. What if I graduated from NKU? I don't know the answer off the top of my head because my stomach is growling and I'm super hungry and I have my food in the microwave, so I can't think straight. But I will call you or email you or text you back, Shalisa, with that answer. Great questions. So criteria, decent credit, great debt ratio. And the most important thing about the grant, you can buy anywhere in Ohio. Anywhere. So you can live in Madisonville or Mainville. You can live in Dayton or Delhi. You can live anywhere. So as you can see, this program is just unlimited. You get money up front for your down payment. You get money every year in the form of a tax credit. It's incredible. Why not use the super grant? I see one more question. What information do I need to provide to qualify for the grants? The information is actually the same information that you give your loan officer during the loan application process. The skilled loan officer, the shiny bald head loan officer who works at Tri-County, he simply takes your information and he shares it with Columbus. As soon as you get a purchase contract, he registers you for the grant. It's really nothing you have to do. And the best part, you don't have to sit in an 8-hour class to get a home ownership certificate. We at Equity Resources, we actually help you get your certificate. We help you get your budget. We help you do everything right there from the comfort of your living room. So it's streamlined, and that part is free. We don't charge $100 for that certificate. You can't beat it. I mean, come on, you just can't beat it. After I eat, I have the pleasure of registering some return clients for a version of the super grant. That's right. You don't have to be a first-time buyer. Underline that. I wish there were a feature on the thing here where I could underline what I just said. You can be a second-time buyer and get this grant money. You can be a second-time buyer. In fact, these people already have a home. They're going to keep their doggone house and they're going to buy another house with grant money. 5% grant money for a second home, and they're going to hold on to that other property. So help me spread the word about the super grant. This information isn't on TV and it's not in the newspaper, and it's real, it's tangible, it's right here at your fingertips, 518-6318. Now, before we go nuts and have fun and start celebrating this opportunity, let me give out a few disclaimers. I love grant money. I'm the Black Robin Hood of Cincinnati with no tights. And I truly enjoy helping the community get all this money, but at the same time, we need to be responsible. I'm not telling you you can buy a house literally with no money down and no plan, no savings. I'm saying the opposite, in fact. Meet with a skilled mortgage professional. Sit down, do a budget, talk about home ownership, go through some self-reflection, some number crunching to make sure that you are truly financially ready to purchase a home. For example, earnest money, that's $500. That's $500. You have to have a $500 check, sometimes $1,000 to put down to express your interest in purchasing a home. So that's $5. Your appraisal is $400, sometimes $415. So we're already at $1,000. Home inspection is another $400. heaven forbid you fall in love with a house and that house doesn't work out. Now you just lost 400. Now you got to shell out another 400. So I guess the moral of the story is I want to make sure that we're clear. This grant money is incredible. In fact, last year, I won't even say how many people purchased a home using this grant money, but it was the most in my entire career of 16 years. The grant is the best way to purchase a home. But at the same time, we really need to make sure that we save enough money before we take that big leap. And we are willing and we are eager to help you build a game plan, to sit with you and to map out a step-by-step process that'll make you a successful, happy homeowner. So this information, you can stream it, you can share it, you can burn it, you can do whatever you want with it, but let's get the word out to the community. The opportunity is there. We just need to open the door and tell as many families as possible about this opportunity. So I'm going to take a couple more questions, and then I have some pork chops that are in the microwave, but I'll be working probably till 8 o'clock, and feel free to inbox or call me if you have any questions about the information that we went through today. If you are married and one person's credit is better than the other, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So anyone on the grant application or any loan application, we have to remember the grant underwriters and other underwriters, we count the whole person. So we can't just take a look at the side that has the good credit. We have to actually take a look at the other things as well. We take a look at the whole person. So if the person doesn't have good credit but has $1 billion income, unfortunately, we can't cut that person in half. So that person can't be on the grant application or the loan application. I hope I answered that question well. But if you have any other questions, folks, tune in to our future live broadcasts. You can also feel free to text me or email me, jbarber@callequity.net. But let's spread the word. Let's try and help as many people as possible. Real estate agents, if you're watching this video, have your clients watch the video because this program is not publicized. And we want to truly get the word out to the community. So thanks again for tuning in. Enjoy your Monday. Enjoy this beautiful weather. Have a great day.